You hear it before you see anything. A sharp crack against the window. A sound that makes your stomach tighten. You turn your head, rush toward the glass, and for one frozen second, you already know what you expect to find outside. A bird, maybe lying in the grass, maybe flapping one wing, maybe staring up, helpless, while the quiet backyard suddenly feels cruel. But when you step outside, there is nothing. No body, no broken wing, no desperate movement, just a few feathers caught near the fence, moving softly in the wind. And that is the part nobody talks about. Birds are everywhere, on rooftops, feeders, branches, wires, and lawns. But wounded birds, you almost never see them. It feels like they vanish. But the reason you rarely see a wounded bird is not because birds rarely get hurt. It is because the moment they are injured, they begin to disappear. You have probably seen hundreds, maybe thousands, of birds in your life. Sparrows hopping near a sidewalk, robins pulling worms from wet grass, pigeons lifting from city streets, crows watching from power lines like they know something you do not. They look quick, light, almost untouchable. But their world is not gentle. Every day, birds crash into windows that reflect open sky. They escape cats hiding under bushes. They fight over territory. They survive storms, hunger, broken branches, speeding cars, tangled wires, sickness, and exhaustion. And yet, when was the last time you saw a truly wounded bird? Not just a missing feather, not just a bird resting, but one clearly injured, exposed, struggling in the open. For most people, the answer is almost never. That silence creates a mystery hiding in plain sight. Because if birds get hurt so often, where do they go? The answer is not simple. It is not pretty. And once you understand what a wounded bird does in its first few seconds of pain, your backyard will never feel quiet again. From your window, the backyard looks peaceful. A feeder swings gently. Leaves move in the wind. A small bird lands, pecks once, looks around, and flies away. It feels like a soft little scene from nature. But to a bird, this same yard is full of invisible danger. That window may look like open sky. That quiet bush may hide a cat. That open patch of grass may leave a bird exposed to a hawk above. Even another bird can become a threat when food, mates, or nesting space are involved. You see freedom. The bird sees risk. A small bird lives close to the edge every day. Its body is light because it must fly. But that also means injury can become serious fast. A damaged wing, a hurt leg, blood loss, shock, or simple weakness can change everything in seconds. And in the wild, weakness is not private. A limping bird is not just hurt. It is broadcasting a message. To a cat, a hawk, a fox, or even a watching crow, that message is clear. This one is easier. So the birds you notice are usually the ones still strong enough to act normal. The wounded ones are already moving into the hidden part of the world. And the first instinct of a wounded bird is not to cry out, it is to vanish. When you imagine an injured animal, you may picture noise, a cry, a struggle, wings beating against the ground, panic that calls attention to itself. But many wounded birds do the opposite. They go quiet. A bird that has just hit a window may not scream. It may not flap wildly in the open. It may freeze, crouch low, tuck itself near a wall, or slip into the nearest shadow before you even reach the door. This is not weakness. It is strategy. In nature, sound travels. Movement gives you away. A strange flutter on the ground is like a flashing signal to every predator nearby. A healthy bird moves in sharp, controlled bursts. A wounded bird moves unevenly, and that broken rhythm can betray it. So the bird does something that feels almost ghost-like. It makes itself harder to read. You may hear the crash, rush outside, and search the lawn. But while your eyes look for a moving body, the bird may already be under a shrub, behind a flower pot, pressed into leaves, or hidden in the thin strip of darkness beside your house. It has not disappeared. It has stopped becoming obvious. But silence is only the beginning. The real secret is where they choose to hide. A wounded bird does not need a perfect hiding place. It only needs a place where eyes slide past it. That is why injured birds often move toward clutter, shadow, and broken shapes, dense bushes, tall grass, wood piles, garden pots, fence corners, roof gutters, tree roots, under decks, behind outdoor furniture, anywhere the body can stop looking like a bird. To you, these places look ordinary. To the bird, they are emergency shelters. A brown sparrow among dead leaves can almost disappear. A small bird pressed against bark becomes part of the tree. Even a brighter bird, if it tucks itself deep into shade, can lose the sharp outline that makes it easy to spot. This is where human perception fails. You look for wings. You look for movement. You expect the bird to behave like a bird. But an injured bird may become completely still, low, and silent. Your brain, trained to notice motion, passes right over it. If the bird can still fly a little, it may aim for height. A low branch, hedge, fence rail, or thick vine can give it distance from ground predators. If it cannot climb, it presses into cover and waits. What looks like disappearance is actually an ancient map of fear written into the bird's instincts. You may not notice a wounded bird at first, but predators are built to notice mistakes. A cat watches for a hop that is too slow. A hawk sees a bird that cannot lift cleanly from the ground. A fox may follow small sounds in the leaves. A raccoon may investigate a quiet corner after dark. Even other birds can notice distress, especially intelligent species like crows. In the wild, weakness has a pattern. It changes the body. A healthy bird moves with quick confidence. It lands, looks, pecks, turns, and lifts off with sharp timing. But an injured bird may hesitate. It may tilt to one side. It may drag a foot, hold one wing lower, or stay separated from the group. To you, it might look like nothing. Maybe the bird is resting. Maybe it is just calm. But to a predator, that tiny difference can mean opportunity. This is why the wounded bird must hide before it is fully understood. It is not only hiding from teeth and claws, it is hiding from attention itself. The danger is not just the injury. The danger is being recognized as injured. This is why a wounded bird often fears being seen more than it fears the pain itself. Sometimes, the most disturbing sign is not panic. It is calm. You may see a bird sitting near a wall, feathers puffed, eyes half closed, body low, barely moving. It may look peaceful, like it is resting in the afternoon shade, but that stillness can be a warning. Birds often hide pain, sickness, and injury because visible weakness can cost them everything. Around predators, weakness invites attack. In a flock, weakness can change how other birds respond. In open spaces, weakness can turn a living bird into a target. So a bird may mask what is happening inside its body. It may sit quietly because movement hurts. It may stay low because it cannot fly well. It may puff its feathers because it is stressed, cold, or trying to conserve energy. It may not flee when you come close, not because it trusts you, but because it cannot risk the movement. And this is where the mystery becomes emotional. The bird is not asking for help in a human way. It is not performing suffering for you to understand. It is trying not to become visible. And sometimes, the bird's greatest survival trick is making suffering look like stillness. There is something painful about watching a flock scatter. 1 second, birds are feeding together. The next, something happens. A strike, a shadow, a sudden burst of wings. The group lifts into the air, and one bird is left behind. You might expect the others to return. Sometimes, in some species, birds do respond strongly to distress. Crows may gather and call. Geese may show concern. Parrots and other social birds can have deep bonds. Nature is not empty of connection. But for many small backyard birds, survival moves fast. A flock cannot always stop for one injured member. A weak bird can draw predators toward the whole group. During migration, delay can cost energy. During feeding, hesitation can mean hunger. When danger appears, the safest choice is often movement. To a human heart, this can feel cold. But birds are not living inside human rules. They are living inside pressure. Every second, they must choose between safety, food, energy, and exposure. So the wounded bird becomes isolated. It falls out of the rhythm of the group. The calls move farther away. The branches settle. The yard becomes quiet again. And in that quiet, the injured bird becomes even harder to find. The wounded bird is suddenly alone, and that loneliness is part of why you rarely see it. A bird's feathers are not only beautiful, they are survival tools. They help with flight, warmth, balance, mating, and protection. But in the hidden moments after injury, they can do something else. They can help the bird disappear. Many birds are colored like the places they live: browns, grays, blacks, whites, soft yellows, broken patterns, streaks, spots, against bark, leaves, soil, grass, stone, and shadow. These colors can break up the body's shape. A predator does not always need perfect vision. It needs contrast. It needs movement. It needs a clue. So if a wounded bird stops moving, lowers its body, and presses into a textured background, it becomes harder to separate from the world around it. And you experience this without realizing it. You may stare into a hedge and see only leaves. You may look beside a fence and see only shadow. You may walk past a place where a bird is hiding less than a few feet away. Your brain expects birds to flutter, hop, sing, or fly. But a wounded bird becomes the opposite of a bird. No song, no wing beat, no sudden motion, just a small shape folded into silence. The visible birds are only the surface of the backyard. Beneath that surface is another world. But hiding does not always save them sometimes. It only decides who finds them first. Here is the truth behind the mystery. You rarely see wounded birds because nature removes the evidence quickly. Some injured birds hide and recover. They stay under cover until shock passes, until they can fly again, or until the danger moves on. If they survive, you may never know anything happened. Others do not recover. They die in places humans rarely check. Inside bushes, behind sheds, under decks, in tall grass, in gutters, beneath roots, or deep in hedges. Then scavengers come. Ants, beetles, cats, foxes, raccoons, crows. The hidden world cleans itself faster than most people imagine. By morning, the backyard may look peaceful again. The feeder swings. The grass is still. The trees shine in soft light. You step outside and think nothing happened overnight. But something may have happened. A chase, a fall, a final hiding place, a silent recovery, a life saved by stillness, or lost in a corner you never noticed. That is why nature can feel so gentle from a distance. The visible world is edited. You see songs, wings, nests, and sunlight. You do not always see the cost of staying alive. Birds are not decorations in the background of your day. They are alert survivors, reading danger every second. And once you see birds this way, every quiet corner of your yard begins to feel alive with secrets. Now, return to the same backyard. The window is still. The feeder moves softly in the wind. A sparrow lands on the fence, turns its head, and watches. A crow sits higher up, silent, dark, and patient. Everything looks ordinary again, but it does not feel ordinary anymore. Because now you understand that birds live inside a world of signals you barely notice. A sudden silence, a missing bird, a feather near the fence, a shape hidden in the hedge, a small body sitting too still in the shade. These are not random details. They are pieces of a survival language. Wounded birds are rarely seen because they are not meant to be seen. Their silence, their stillness, their hidden corners, their camouflage, and even their loneliness are part of an ancient intelligence carried in their bodies. They know when to sing. They know when to flee. They know when to freeze. And sometimes, they know when to disappear. So the next time you hear a bird hit a window, or find a feather where no bird remains, pause before you decide nothing happened. You may be standing at the edge of a secret world. Have you ever found an injured bird, or heard a bird strike a window and then found nothing? Tell your story in the comments, because your experience may reveal something most people never notice. The birds were never missing. They were hiding exactly the way survival taught them to.